Live. We are live. We are live. Come on in. Come on in. We are live. Come on in, family. Come on in. Come on in. Let me know what city, what state, what country you are checking in from. Come on in. Come on in. Let me know how it looks. Let me know how it sounds. This is my second time. The first time it was glitching, audio was cutting out, etc. So let me know if you can hear me. Everything's good. If you don't mind, everyone, please like the video the moment you come in. Please like the video the moment you come in so that everyone can find out what Brother Rizza Islam is. I know a lot of you have been trying to find me. Thank you. It sounds good. How's the video? How's the visual? Video is good as well? It's better? Okay, thank you. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. So the audio is good. How's the video? Sounds nice. Of course, I'm going to use code words. You already know how it goes. This is it's really sad how you can't speak the truth. And I mean, basic truth, not even, boy, just sad. We're going to get this done. Video is good and audio is good. Appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. We're going to go right into this. Please, the moment you come in, if you don't mind, family, I know people say this all the time, but this is my first time going live on YouTube since I've had this YouTube. I haven't had a YouTube in almost 2 years. So if you don't mind, please like the video the moment you come in and send this video to at least 5 people, because a lot of people are trying to find out where my platform is. And so I do want to let the people know your brother was reaching 15 to 18 million people a week through all my platforms collectively. And so when they took it all down, which we're going to talk about because some new information just came out from the United States government about the quote unquote disinformation dozen that your brother is on a list of 12. And they have admitted some heavy things regarding these emails that just came out from White House information and a lot of the tech companies that they were talking to back and forth. So come on in. Let me know what city, what state, what country you are checking in from. Please like the video the moment you step in. Let me know what city, what state, what country you are checking in from again, and let us get right into this. So for those of you who came in, what you first saw was the thumbnail, the picture, right? When you start searching up videos, you see the picture of the video first and the title next to it. The picture that you saw was a picture of myself and Brother Aries Spears. Next to that picture is a picture of myself and Sister Tiffany Haddish. Below that is a picture of what is called the Disinformation Dozen. Disinformation dozen. Somebody said, I can't believe you live on YouTube. I can't either. They kept me off for so long. And I mean, man, I'm telling you, and I have made attempts to get back on and they blocked it. Oh man, it's one day I'm going to go into a full detailed video of exactly what censorship is. This ain't no shadow ban or shadow block. No. Once the US government has that whenever your name is brought up, targeted algorithm shoots toward you, etc. And you have certain people working on behalf of the government who watch your name, videos, etc. specifically. So let's go into this really quick. I'm starting the same way I started the last time. Number one, with a dialogue that me and him had, that was an interview that he did with me. He interviewed me. Sister Erica Lachey was there. He also had his co-host from their podcast called the Spears and Steinberg podcast. His co-host, Mr. Steinberg, was there as well. So it was all 4 of us. That interview took place, I think it's been about a year now, maybe a little more than a year. That video, if you would like to watch that, is the first video on this YouTube channel. Please make sure you watch that video. A lot of good information. It was a good dialogue, very respectful. I think we learned from one another. And toward the very end, toward the middle, they both were saying, yeah, we have a lot to learn. So it was just good, man, to have a dialogue. Aries Spears, I will say, was one of the only people who had enough testicular fortitude, who had enough courage, who really had enough strength to at least say, Let me bring the brother on. Let me bring Brother Rizza Islam on to have a dialogue with him about these stabs, these poison stabs. Let me at least have a conversation with him. There were a lot of other people who were talking about your brother who are very quiet now because everything that we said has come out and has been proven to be an actual fact, which we will get into right after I go over this topic. But we had that dialogue, powerful dialogue. It was very good. Please watch that video. Next picture you see is of me and Tiffany Haddish. I met Sister Tiffany Haddish roughly, I want to say maybe 3 months ago. Not too long ago. 2.5, 3 months ago, I believe. And I wanted to meet our sister. See, for those of you who watch me, one thing you'll notice about me is none of our people are perfect. So I don't go out here judging or bashing our people. I go out here and do my best to help our people. That's the first thing. I'm not into that bashing each other all the damn time. You learn that when you actually work with people in real life. You learn that people have gone through a lot in life. So you look at your people with a different eye. You look at them and do your best to help them to come out of the condition. However, pedophilia, let's go right into this because this is a situation that a lot of people are clicking on the picture of Aries Spears and Tiffany Haddish over and over and over and over and over again to listen to and to watch. Here's a sad thing that I'm looking at. Number one, pedophilia is, I'll say pedo. I guess that was something that alerted the algorithm that took me down a few minutes ago. That circumstance is applauded in America. It is welcomed in America. It is sponsored in America. It is sanctioned in America. It is validated in America. It helps to feed America's financial, economic bottom line. That includes sex trafficking. That includes child trafficking. That includes organ trafficking and stealing. That includes the trafficking of grown women and men, slightly on the men, more so on the women. All of that is a part of America. America currently has over 100,000 child brides in America. America allows you to marry minors in at least 5 states, I believe. America sponsors this. So let's make this very clear. That pedo situation, people who are attracted to children, is nothing new to America. That is absolutely a part of America's foundation as it pertains to the European persuasion and particularly, and then that has infected Black people, natives, brown. It's infected everybody. It's happening in families across the country. And some of y'all know, I know personally in my family, it's never happened to me, but I know cousins that it has happened to. I know. So it's a very real thing. All of this is very real, but let us make this very clear. I do not condemn a person without just. One thing that I noticed about this situation regarding Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears is that a lot of people are saying they're guilty without facts. I'm like, wait a minute, wait. I'll just give you an example. In the belief that I have in the Nation of Islam, a man touching a child is worthy of death. I just want you to understand something. See, this is not a game. This is why we do our best to operate along actual facts only. We have to do that because in our belief, touching on children, messing with children in that way, the punishment is death. That's how we believe. So I can't rush out here emotional like the majority of people all over YouTube right now who are talking with no facts and who talk for clickbait. It's actually embarrassing to get back on this platform to see all the nonsense going on out here. It's like people are not even in the real world anymore. It's like the people live on the internet. You get on here in front of a camera and just talk and talk and talk to get clickbait and views and likes and all that because a lot of y'all get paid for doing this. But let me, as one of the people who do not get paid to do this, because if I did get paid to do this, I would have shut up a long time ago about speaking the truth, which prevented me from being able to access this. And I got all of my network taken down. I would have shut up a long time ago if my motive was money. So let's make this clear. Those of you who watch these videos where no one has presented proof that Aries Spears or Tiffany Haddish are guilty of the accusation outside of a television skit. Let me switch gears really quick. The skit was not funny. The skit is titled Through the Eyes of a Pedophile, I believe. Mind of a Pedophile or Eyes of a Pedophile. Let me get the exact title here so that we can be right and exact. The title of the skit that was recorded in 2014, Through a Pedophile's Eyes. Through a pedophile's eyes, is the title of the skit. I never saw it until now. I personally didn't know anything about it. But when I saw it, not funny. Wasn't funny. Just wasn't funny. See, I don't care if I meet someone, if I have a dialogue, a discussion with someone, if we do work in the community together. If you are guilty of that, you are guilty of that, and you must suffer the consequences. It's just that simple. If you're guilty, but that has to be proven, and I cannot, knowing what I believe, when it comes to that, I can't throw a person into judgment of being guilty of something that they're not proven of being guilty of. Now, so the first thing I say is, please stop listening to people who get on this internet and just start, yeah, they nasty. See, I knew it was something about him. I knew it was something about her. Wait. Excuse me. The vast majority of people on the damn internet are some sick people. The vast majority. But if a person is not that, then they're not that. But if they are that, they are that. But that has to be proven. That's my only deal. That goes for anybody. I'll say that about a white person too. Just because he's white doesn't mean I need to assume that he did something. I'm just being honest with you. See, that you have to have a level of honor and decency when it comes to this. Yeah, I'm a black man. No, I don't trust this system. I never will. I don't trust white people as a collective group. I don't. I have no reason to. But I don't need to lie on somebody. I don't need to. I wouldn't want anybody to lie on me. I've been lied on plenty of times. I've been accused of a number of things. Kind of embarrassing too. I'm not embarrassed. They should be embarrassed of what they accuse me of. It's like, me? Okay. So when I saw that, I said, whoa, that's a heavy charge on these two. To be accused of that is very rough. And if it's true, even more so. Because again, the penalty that we believe in the nation, for example, the penalty we carry for that is death. I'm just saying. So I have to back up and say, wait, I have to see proof. I have to see proof. All right. I can't just condemn them and say, no, I have to see proof. And rightfully so, we should all be the same way. Don't use your preconceived notions. Don't use your disgust or your disagreement with how you don't like Aries Spears. You don't like how he said this. You don't like Tiffany Haddish, her jokes. You don't like how she did that. There's certain things I don't like about either one of them. There are things about both of them that I don't like. However, I can respectfully disagree with my sister, respectfully disagree with my brother, and that can still be my brother and my sister until proof and evidence is shown to determine if they did or did not do a thing. I think that's how we should all be when it comes to fairness. Innocent until proven guilty rather than guilty until proven innocent. Let's not be like white folks, because some of us can be much worse than white folks. Honestly, let's not do that. It's another thing I've been noticing. A lot of soft, weak Negroes all over the internet trying to justify what white people do and say, but black people, wait, hold on, excuse me. This revisionist history, this nonsense, that innocent until proven guilty rather than guilty until proven innocent. Simple as that. Now, again, if they happen to be guilty, okay, they need to suffer the consequences, period. No ifs, ands, or buts. However, the proof has to come out first, respectfully. And I would expect all of us to be the same exact way to say, let's wait. All right, let's not condemn them until we see some proof. On the other end, when it comes to the skit that was done, let me say this part here. You know, we talk real fast. A lot of us watch videos of people on the internet, so we think we know a lot of things. Then you have those who have experience in certain areas. Then you have those who just listen to gossip. And what do they call them? Tea sippers or spillers. I can't keep up with all the nonsense because I deal in facts. I deal in real life. I deal with real people. So when I'm in the real world with real people, I operate realistically. Mad TV, and during the comedy days of Mad TV, during the comedy days of In Living Color, during the comedy days of the old school Saturday Night Live, they did comedy in a way that was far more raw. And their raw comedy could not be accepted today. Because frankly, this generation is so damn soft, so pitifully politically correct, so hypocritically politically correct that you can't say anything. You can't say anything. I'm not saying I agree with how they did comedy back then or not. A lot of the shows were funny as hell. Yes. Yes, they were. A lot of shows at the time were funny as hell. Absolutely. However, nowadays, everybody is offended by everything if it's true. All the facts are offensive. Everybody gets offended by the facts. All right. You can't say anything, nothing at all. Unless you're pushing the homosexual agenda. Let's just be honest. And even people all up in the LGBT know that this is true and they can't stand what's going on. If you're pushing the homosexual agenda, if you're pushing the effeminization of a black man, if you're pushing to trust the government to a degree, it depends. To a degree, it depends. If you're pushing black people should not get reparations. If you're pushing, there's no such thing as racism and everybody should get along and everybody is fine and we're all multicultural, everything is great. Don't worry about what's going on in your circumstance in your neighborhoods and your condition over there, etc. No. Don't worry about it. We're just all human beings, blah, 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 blah. I don't want to take any responsibility for what my people have done to yours, even though I'm still benefiting from it, but blah, 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 blah. All right. So outside of all that, in 2022, a lot of people are looking back at some of the things they did or said, all kinds of things like that, and they like, whoa, that's where I was mentally at that time. I believe that's more than likely where Aries Spears may be, Tiffany Haddish may be, when it comes to that skit. When it comes to that skit. So again, the skit is titled, and I'm going to read something here. 2014, that skit was shot. The skit was called Through a Pedophile's Eyes. In the skit. And in that skit, I'm not going to play it, but in that skit, you had Aries Spears, you had Tiffany Haddish. Tiffany Haddish was the guardian of a little boy who was 7 years old. She was leaving him with Aries Spears, who was playing pedophile and was making the looks at the child like this and looking through a newspaper at the child like this and all that kind of stuff. Again, not funny at all. Then you had a scene where he got into the tub with the child. Yeah. A lot of people nowadays that y'all see on TikTok do all kinds of crazy crap for views and likes. Y'all know it be people doing all kinds of stuff. Cucumber challenge. Come on, ladies. Come on. You have some craziness going on for likes and views. Stuff that's not funny. Not funny at all. Inappropriate, nasty, all sexual innuendo. Tons of sexual innuendo, ideas, images. And people laughing about it right now, today. Laughing about it. Got their little babies twerking, little girls twerking, got the little boys twerking, throwing dollars on the girls, behind while she twerking on them right now. And people laughing about it right now. So all of these things are wrong. That scene with Aries Spears getting in the tub, wrong. He had his clothes on. Let's get that clear too for those. So let me make that very clear as well. The scene wasn't funny. The skit wasn't funny. However, one, it was a skit, and two, it was a PSA, meaning a public service announcement, meaning them talking about this is the type of situation that a lot of people experience and that a lot of children experience, which is why at the end of the skit, it said, watch who you leave your children with. At the end of the skit, it said, watch who you leave your children with. Watch who you leave your kids with. Pardon me, I don't say the word kids because kid technically means a baby goat. So that's why I said children. But it said, watch who you leave your kids with. So the skit was a public service announcement, and it was cringy as hell because that was the message. Now, I'm just saying, again, it's not capping for nobody. Again, even that term cap is used too much. It's used in the place of a lot of people who can't think straight and who don't know how to exercise logic. And all they are used to is emotion and reaction. And so they just say cap, cap, cap. When it's like, no, research, think. Don't just say something is cap without having the actual facts about a thing. It was a PSA. At the end of it, it said, watch you leave around your kids. And it made you feel that way. It made you feel that way, like, oh, that was not okay. It wasn't. And it wasn't funny because it wasn't supposed to be. I said, okay, I get that. So here's the other point. So the legal case that's being pushed against Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears regarding that, they said they groomed those two children, two 7-year-olds, regarding that skit. The parents said that she was not there. I'm a little confused by that one. You leave your 7-year-old to go do a skit. You leave your 7-year-old to go do a skit. Okay. If Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears are found guilty of this, the parent is too. That's called being an accessory to a crime. If they're guilty of this. I just want to make it very clear. Let's be all the way 100 with this. You don't leave your 7-year-old nowhere unless there's somewhere with adults that you trust and that you know, absolutely know. Maybe at your other family member's home, and even sometimes that nowadays has to be questioned. And it's sad. It's a sad. Hence the PSA: watch who you leave your kids with. Again, children, but it said watch you leave your kids with. It's a very sad, real circumstance that people are dealing with. That's why it's not a joke, because it's a real thing. The problem is they're coming at Aries Spears and Tiffany Haddish with an accusation as if it's a fact, while using a skit that was made to talk about the issue and was highlighting the fact that it's an issue that we should all look out for. So I was kind of confused by that, because the PSA, although not funny, wasn't funny. It's like, okay, y'all probably went a little too far with that. Just wasn't funny. But it did hit the nail right on the head, like, yo, whoa. And at the end, watch you leave your kids with. Okay, good. So I hope I'll kind of make that very clear. So if they're guilty, they should suffer the consequences. Simple as that. If they're innocent, however, every single one of the Negroes on this platform and on all the rest of the platforms should apologize. I doubt you will. But respectfully, we should stop going at our people like that without having the actual facts. That's all I'm saying. If it's an accusation, please stop treating it like it's a fact. Don't do that. Period. That's all I'm saying. So the skit wasn't funny. This case is not even a new case, as a matter of fact. It's been going on for, or should I say, the accusation has occurred for several years, where the parents have continued to have to get new representation, for one of the children, because apparently, from the reports, the lawyers, when they get on this case, continue to say that it has no standing, no merit, meaning there's not enough evidence to prove this. So I don't know what number of attorney this is on this case when it comes to this child. I don't know, but it's been multiple. So Tiffany Haddish has responded saying that she can't say anything right now because she has an ongoing case, but she did say, once this is done with or over with, she said in a recent post, she was talking about how, well, I want to be able to discuss things further as things move ahead. Aries Spears, which I find is very interesting. If y'all don't mind, let me switch on this area here. So, of course, again, like I said, the skit wasn't funny, but it was a skit. The skit was to call out the pedophile circumstances happening in the world. The skit was to show how real it is, as real as you can get in a skit, while making you get real cringe like watching it. It did do that. And then at the end, it gave the message of watch who you leave your kids with, etc., etc. But then you have a circumstance here. Because again, accusations, the child was uncomfortable and all that. Okay, well, the parent should have been there because the parent wasn't there. Again, that's my point. I'm trying to figure all this out here. If they're guilty, they should suffer the consequences. Let's leave that right there. Let's move to the next area. Here's this area. I find this very interesting that all of a sudden, it's just a very interesting circumstance to note that this popped up again, but heavily, after Aries Spears talked about Lizzo's physicality. All right. I'll say this. I love the Black woman. Y'all know that. I pray you know that. I love the Black woman. No doubt. There is nothing better than the Black woman. Hands, feet down. Period. She is the mother of civilization. She is the mother of all. Period. The Black woman, however, just like the Black man, has to take responsibility for what we do, what we eat, what we drink, how we carry ourselves in the world, men and women. Sisters, you are not above correction on this. Brothers, we are not above correction on this. The problem is that, yes, there are double standards. Yes, you can say certain things about a man, and you cannot say those same things about a woman without being attacked on social media. I see it all the time. And then vice versa. Sometimes there are some things you can say about a woman that you can't say about a man, or you'll also be attacked. Again, it's this soft generation here, this crazy world where truth is only relative. Actual facts is just relative, but you can't speak the truth universally. No, the truth has to be spoken universally. We're dying heavily. Heart disease, diabetes, kidney disease, colon cancer, asthma. And I'm talking about in the Black community. So we have to clean ourselves up. Simple. We have to. There is no getting around this. What is fat shaming? What is skinny shaming? What shaming? No, the facts are the facts. The problem comes when we do not deliver it properly. Sometimes it shouldn't matter how it's delivered, how the truth is delivered. Sometimes it shouldn't matter. You're right. But it does for a lot of people. And because of that, yes, we should have an ability to communicate things tactfully, articulately, but in a way where it can go across and the person can receive it. Simple. A lot of people do not like to be told in the worst way how they look, how they dress. Even myself. I mean, come on. It's like, have a little level of compassion how you talk. We can speak the truth, but the way we can speak the truth should be in a way where the person can receive it. Do you see what I'm saying? I definitely know Not I feel, I know. The way Brother Aries said what he said, how he said it, it wasn't funny. It just wasn't funny. It was so raw. I was like, oh, hey, brother. Hey, now. Come on. Come on. A lot of people have a hard time losing weight. That's a fact. Especially after they get to a certain point, after they get to a certain body weight. Oh, it's not. See, I've never been big, but I've worked with people, including people in my family who are big. And I'm talking about 5'5", 215, 5'6", 240. I'm 6'6", 6'7", and I'm 235 pounds. I'm not a small dude. Yeah, it's muscle for the majority, but it's stretched out much higher because I'm taller. So imagine shrinking me down a whole foot, but with the same weight, I'm going to be a lot bigger. So for a lot of people, it is not that easy to just lose weight. And then on the other hand, it's just a lot of people who are lazy. And then on the other hand, it's just a lot of people who don't want to eat properly. And then on the other hand, which is a small percentage, but there are some people who do have chemical problems going on in their body to where their organs are not processing things properly. So there's layers to it. There are different reasons. Absolutely. However, I will say this, the way Aries Spears said it about Lizzo when he said, I just can't get past the fact that she looks like he referred to her body as the feces emoji, but he used the S word. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Like, brother, come on, man. Just come on, man. Yeah, y'all laughing. Okay, y'all laughing. I like a good joke. I love comedy. However, come on. Just come on. There's a way to say that. So yeah, it was insensitive. That's a fact. That is a fact. He was asked a question about her music, and he went straight to her body size and his weight, her weight, and all that. And even in the discussion that me and Aries had, because I'm gonna tell y'all this, I believe that when he commented about Lizzo and said what he said about her, that added to them targeting him with this. Now they may have already had this being brought up, but I just find it very coincidental and interesting of the timing in which they released this onslaught on him. And then it popped up on so many platforms so quickly. So many platforms so quickly. Like clockwork. Like, no, don't talk about those who we have approved of. Please think with me on this. It was just interesting to me. I said, okay, now that was interesting. It was like a machine, a well-oiled machine, like clockwork. Boom, boom, boom. Talked about Lizzo, said what he said. Boom, next thing you know. Boom, boom, boom. This platform, that platform, this platform, that platform. Mainstream, CBS. Boom, boom, boom. I said, whoa. Wait a minute. That was interesting. And then Tiffany Haddish. Boom, 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 boom. That was interesting. The brother could have gone viral. He's gone viral a number of times for saying different things, but not like this. So when that happened, I said, whoa, okay. Yes, what he said, how he said, what he said about Lizzo. Yes, poor taste. Definitely wasn't funny how he said it. When me and him had the dialogue about the poison stabs, and make sure you watch that video. It's on this page. I believe it's the first video on this page. We had our dialogue about it. The reason why we had that dialogue is because months prior to that, he did a video, roughly 8-minute video, where he said, I want to speak with someone who knows the science. I don't want some conspiracy theorist talk. I don't want some internet YouTuber talk. He said specifically, and I quote, please, y'all, don't send me no video of a brother in a bow tie with slick hair and glasses. Everybody on the internet roughly knew who he was talking about. Your brother Rizza Islam. Then he doubled down and said, in respect to my Muslim brothers, you didn't have to involve the nation. You didn't have to act as if you didn't know how to say the word Muslim. Again, trying to be funny. Wasn't funny at all. It wasn't even corny. It was just pretty bad. It was just embarrassing and uncalled for. But nonetheless, that video was shared by D.L. Hughley, because D.L. Hughley, who will also be seeing me and will be having our dialogue, because he is going to have to address the statements he made about me with regards to the poison shots, because now what we have said has turned out to be right and exact. And he's going to have to sit down and have a discussion, because we're not going anywhere, Mr. Hughley. So be prepared for that conversation. So he shared Aries Spears' video onto his page. My network and many of you went straight to D.L. Hughley's page, and you saw what Aries Spears said, and y'all went and started just tearing Aries Spears up. And he then messages me after a lot of you sent me that video of what he said. I saw the video. I laughed at how entertaining it was, and really sad how sad it was, because I'm not an internet brother. I bring onto the internet what we do in real life. And so therefore it's kind of like there's a difference between a real life researcher, activist who's in the community versus someone who's on the internet only. There's a difference, right? And no shade to anybody who's on the internet, because we need that too. But just make it very clear, some of us give our life for this, and we've been doing this before we were on the internet. So Aries Spears reaches out to me. He says, man, I want to have a discussion, man, because clearly, I don't know. All right. Let me have a discussion. But can we do that? I said, absolutely. So I told him, I said, you let me know the time and place. I don't mind. Let's record it. Let's really have a dialogue, because I want to educate you about this situation. And you did ask for some education, and I would like to provide you with that. Boom. Next thing you know, we wouldn't have that conversation. That's how that conversation happened. So just want to give you all the backstory. Fast forward to right now. This situation with Lizzo, and when he said what he said, how he said it was wrong, wasn't funny. But then after that, he then talked about his own circumstance, and in the conversation that me and him had regarding the poison shot, he said, I'm a comedian first. But he said it does. And it was bad. However, I just think that what he said, but it was who he said it about. That is my point on that. To the next part. Oh, it's skipping again. It's skipping again. Y'all said it's chopping up again. Interesting. It's chopping up again, y'all said? Okay, how does it sound now? Is it good now? Y'all let me know. Is it good? Is it good? I want to finish this really quick, because I have to get to the sounding. Okay, good. Okay, perfect. Thank you. So, because I have to get to the real important thing. It was slightly important. It was important enough to clarify things and to look at it. But I want to get to the really important thing. So Aries Spears pointed out his own defects. He was like, look, man, he said he has diabetes and he has high blood pressure and all of that. And he even said that when we were talking about Lizzo, that whole thing is just the way he said what he said wasn't funny. Boom, boom, boom. He said that about one of Hollywood's chosen. That's Lizzo right now. She is that. Lizzo does. It's not just Lizzo. Too many of us get out here, half naked, booty all out, everything all out, and want respect after we get ridiculed for putting ourselves out here, men and women. We do too much indecency, and then want respect after that. That's not how the world goes. That's not how the world goes. We have to respect ourselves. That's the point. You can't get out here twerking at a basketball game with children at the basketball game with your butt out. And I'm not talking about just, I'm talking about a slit. That's what Lizzo did. And they wanted her to leave because it's like, yo, wait a minute, excuse me. Stop. That's not okay. See, we need to learn when things are not proper. But because we keep getting applauded for doing things that are improper, brothers, a lot of us get applauded for doing things that are improper. Like when a lot of us be out here calling the women out of their names, we generalize sisters, we do say all kinds of nonsense. Promote drugs, man. I get 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 females. I don't matter, man. Look, she ain't with it. I got 10 females who is with it. Bro, wrong. Doesn't matter how you chop it. Wrong. Sisters, you get out here. I give me 4, 5 dudes. I mess with him. I get the bag from him. Mess with him. Get the bag from him. Mess with him. Get the bag from him. We both are wrong. And we want respect, but we don't give it to ourselves. We're wrong. Lizzo, for how she promotes certain things, we're dying from the very thing that she's being applauded for promoting. I'm not saying having confidence in self-love. You need to have confidence in self-love. However, self-love is followed up with actions that go towards self-love. If I love myself, I'm going to make sure I'm healthy. If I love myself, I'm going to exercise if I'm overweight. If I love myself, I'm not going to have no high blood pressure because I'm going to make sure that I'm making sure my heart pumps enough. And I'm not filling up my body with things that clog up my arteries that is going to make me expire earlier than I'm supposed to, and vice versa with the brothers. I'm not going to be attacking people because of it. I'm not going to be sitting there making fun of you all day because of that. No. But if you really love your friend, you're going to tell him the truth. You're going to tell her the truth. And a lot of people don't want that. I don't give a damn how much you say. Let me eat all of this, even though, yes, I got kidney stones. Yes, I got high blood pressure. Yes, I got colon cancer. Yes, I have asthma. Yes, I have diabetes. Yes. Wait a minute. If I love you and I call myself your brother, then I have to tell you the truth. You may not like it, but I'm going to tell you because you're going to kill yourself prematurely. And I don't think some of us even understand how serious this is. We have the highest rate of heart disease and obesity in America. Ain't a damn thing funny. This ain't no time for yes. I ain't no yes. What the hell are you yesing for? What is that? What is that? Yes, what? Yes, what? I don't get it. For males and females. I don't understand this. What the hell is wrong with us? We're not in reality. It's like, wake the hell up. What are we applauding out here? What are we doing? I don't get it. I just don't understand. What are we doing? Once we realize at that point that we're going nowhere fast and we're applauding the very things that are destroying us, okay, then at that point, maybe we should back up for a second because I can't keep pointing at nobody else. So my point is, we talked about the skit. We talked about the accusation against Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears. We talked about what I truly believe was a causative factor in such a heavy blitz, short for blitzkrieg, against Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears, where all these platforms just going at them. I'm with no proof of the thing that they're being accused of, just speculation. Okay, it's like, wait a minute, y'all doing all this speculation here, but what if they come out and they're innocent? Now what? See, again, we're prostitutes for likes and views on this thing. We're loose for likes. Please like my video. Please watch me. Please, somebody please watch it? We're addicted to this thing. I'm actually thankful that the government took me off of these platforms because I'm not as crazy as some of these people on here. I'm not perfect. Don't get it twisted. However, this is not what drives me. Not this. This thing is crazy. Some of y'all are really sick in the head. Then when you see people in real life, you get shook because you're like, oh my God, I didn't realize he was that damn big. Yes, I done seen a couple people who talked about me on the internet. When they see me in real life, they're like, real quiet. Hey, my brother, how you doing? Yes, sir. Nice to meet you. We get out of it. We're not in present time. So the really, really, really important thing that I want to cover really quick is not even going to be long. The government went ahead and released over 30 pages of emails as it pertains to the quote unquote disinformation dozen. disinformation dozen. Disinformation dozen. Someone said, how tall are you? Between 6'6" and 6'7" on a good day. 234 pounds, I believe now, last I checked, 11% body fat. Pushing to get down to 10, 9 to 10. Over 30 pages of email exchanges have been released. The United States government has been found out, 2 attorney generals who are a part of a lawsuit exposing what the US government has been doing as it pertains to the poison stabs. They targeted someone by the name of the Disinformation Dozen. The Disinformation Dozen is a group of 12 people that your brother Rizza is one of those 12, who the United States government, from CNN to NBC, CBS, the BBC News over in Europe, Daily Mail UK, The Guardian, Newsweek, you name it, Vice, Huffington Post, WebMD. Hell, I made it to Forbes. We made it to Forbes, not because of our finances, but because of how much we exposed the system. We're in Forbes. Made it to all of the top New York Post, New York Times, LA Times. We made it to all of the top news publications roughly in the world. Reuters, the Times of Israel. We made it to the top of all of those by being smeared all over the internet. They lied and said that we were speaking lies and we were pushing disinformation about the shots and that we were not telling the truth and that the information we were spreading, quote unquote, in the words of Mr. Joe Biden, the information we were spreading was killing people. Pitiful, sir. Mr. President, pitiful. All of this to now come full circle where the CDC is admitting we made some mistakes. The director of the CDC, Rochelle Walensky, stated out of her mouth, quote, "We made mistakes and we have to own them," end quote. She didn't list the mistakes they made, but she sorely oversimplified. We want to know what those mistakes were. We know what they were, but why don't you go further and list them? Number 2, in this email exchange, it goes down a list. Number 1, there were over 50 government officials from the White House, over 50 administrative officials from the Biden administration who were a part of this. There were over 12 government agencies that were a part of this. Can some of you type into the chat? Just guess. 3. Type in 3 of the government agencies that you believe or that you feel that you think were a part of the attack on myself and 11 others. Go. Just type in the chat. 3 of those. I'm going to name some of them, but type in 3 of those that you think were part of it. I'm positive you're going to be correct. And I want everyone, I'm going to put this actually in the chat now. I'm going to put this in the chat now so that you can read along with your brother. I see all of you are correct so far. You are correct so far. Here is the link to the article that you can read along with me. That is the article right there from the Epic Times. I'm going to read this really quick if you don't mind. Yes, all of you are correct. The FBI is one of those organizations that was a part of it. The CDC, yes. Who else got it? FBI, correct. CDC, yes. The FDA, correct. The U.S. Treasury Department. Isn't that interesting? The United States Census Bureau. Isn't that interesting? Just what it is here. Make sure you click on the article there. Please make sure you read along. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to read from the top down. The United States government colluded conspired, came together from the executive branch, the White House, the president. They came together. They called in Mark Zuckerberg. They called in Sundar Pichai of Google. They called in Jack Dorsey of Twitter at the time, before it was called Meta. Someone said it's choppy again. How is it now? How are we looking now, y'all? Let me know. Someone said, the last person who commented said that it's choppy. See, boy, because now we're getting into it. The first thing that we went over had to be clarified and things had to be put in perspective. But this is the real. Good. Okay, perfect. Thank you. So they brought them in and they said, we have these 12 people that we need you to remove from your platforms. They said, we need to remove these people from the platforms. They said, remove them from Google. Remove them from Google. Please remove them from Google. They said, remove them from Instagram. They said, remove them from Facebook. They said, remove them from Twitter. They said, remove them from YouTube. And they even took me off of Clubhouse. If all of you remember exactly what happened, it wasn't just me being removed from the platforms. There were people called at different podcasts and other platforms, radio stations, news stations, who were told to not invite Rizza Islam on. And I'm sure they mentioned other names as well, but I'm letting you know what they told me, because a lot of the Black platforms in particularly were called, because they said that one, when it comes to Black people, has the largest amount of influence as it pertains to disinformation, where the poison stabs are concerned. He has the biggest influence. It's actually Minister Farrakhan who has the biggest influence when it comes to that. So don't get it twisted. However, he did let me loose on y'all to continue in this lane of exposing what Satan is doing. And of course, I submitted and took those instructions and continue to push the line. So let us go ahead and read this really quick if you don't mind. This is from the epictimes.com. It says, disinformation doesn't respond after documents show widespread Biden administration censorship effort. This came out on the 3rd of this month. 2 days ago. People who are branded as disinformation purveyors, says the new documents, showing coordination between big tech and President Joe Biden's administration, is an important step in combating the collusion. Quote, as one of the disinformation dozen, I am thrilled to see that both Eric Schmidt of Missouri, an attorney general, and Jeffrey Landry of Louisiana have had the courage to take a stand against the massive and well-orchestrated censorship that has attempted to silence me, my colleagues, and quite frankly, hundreds of others. It is about time, end quote. That is Dr. Christiane Northrup, who's also on the Disinformation Dozen, an obstetrician and gynecologist. She told the Epic Times in a text message. Schmidt and Landry, both Republican attorney generals, brought a suit against the administration, the Biden administration, for alleged, not alleged, but fine for your liability and your protection, for alleged violations of the First Amendment in pressuring social media companies to censor users. Now, when you do that, you violate freedom of speech. They try to put in a loophole and they said speech that causes harm, blah, 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 the stuff you do every single day. So stop that. The documents came as a result of a discovery in the case. In 2021, a nonprofit called the Center for Countering Digital Hate. I want y'all to remember that name, because the devil who is the face of that, I believe he is European, but he's a tan individual. He looks more so, I wouldn't say Pakistani. He looks something like that, someone like that, but of course has a European, more so of a English accent, I believe, who we found is being sponsored in some way by Big Pharma. 2021, a nonprofit called the Center for Countering Digital Hate. Hilarious. Type that name in the chat. Center for Countering Digital Hate. All of a sudden, now you want to counter digital hate. Just let the government dish out as much as it can on us, right? But when we put out the truth, now it's digital hate. Claimed that just 12 people described as the Disinformation Dozen, were responsible for most of the anti-shot content on social media. The White House took the report and used it to pressure big tech to suppress alleged misinformation and disinformation. So they took this report from this guy in Europe and his organization, nonprofit. Sure, you're getting paid thoroughly. And then they put that in the White House, took it up as a legitimate thing. And the calculations that he came up with, which is what they said, we have 65% of influence. They said 65% of all the lies, they said, where these shots are concerned, is coming from just 12 people. They said collectively they've looked at nearly 812,000 posts. 812,000 posts collectively among these 12 people. And they have 65 to 70% of the influence as it pertains to misinformation when it comes to the poison shot. Just 12 people, they said, across the entire internet and across the world. Just these 12 people. I appreciate that. Thank you for giving me the props as being one of the 12. Appreciate it. Now, let's continue. It says the White House press secretary, Jen Psaki, told reporters on July 16th, 2021, that the administration was in regular contact with social media platforms and was focused on getting them to step up enforcement. Here's where it gets interesting. Quote, we have proposed that they create a robust or strong enforcement strategy that bridges their properties and provides transparency about the rules, end quote. Jen Psaki said, it's the White House press secretary. Quote, there's about 12 people who are producing 65% of anti-stab misinformation on social media platforms, misinformation. All of them remain active on Facebook at the time, despite some even being banned on other platforms, including Facebook, ones that Facebook owns, end quote. Behind the scenes, Facebook responded to the pressure the new documents showed. A Facebook official whose name was redacted. Why did you redact their name? Why didn't you just say their name? Remember this. A Facebook official whose name was redacted told White House officials in July 23rd of 2021 in an email after a Facebook White House meeting that, quote, we talked about the speed at which we are all having to iterate as the pandemic progresses, end quote. Quote, I wanted to make sure you saw the steps we took just this past week to adjust policies on what we are removing with respect to misinformation, end quote, as well as steps taken to further address the Disinfo Dozen. We removed 17 additional pages, groups, and Instagram accounts tied to the Disinfo Dozen. So a total of 39 profiles, pages, groups, and IG accounts deleted thus far, resulting in every member of the Disinfo having had at least one such entity removed. Y'all some gangsters with it. Okay, I can respect your evil, wicked gangster. I respect the gangster. Okay. The Facebook employee wrote, quote, we are also continuing to make 4 other pages and profiles which have not yet met their removal thresholds, meaning they ain't got to the point to where we can take them down yet, more difficult to find on our platform. So now let's see. They're admitting this in the emails. Look, check this out. We pretty much removed all these things, but there's like 4 more pages between all of them that are still up. So even though we can't take them down yet, we're going to make it to where you can't find the page. Now, a lot of y'all call it shadow banning. This is worse than that. Most people who get shadow banned is because of an algorithm that they have triggered because of certain things they posted. Your brother Rizza Islam and these 11 individuals are being blocked by direct government order from the White House. I just want to make this very clear. There's a different level here. It's not just an algorithm being triggered because of certain things that you post, which that is the case for the vast majority of people, period. But this is by direct government order from the White House specifically. And let's go ahead and go to the next point. The documents, these are the emails that were released a few days ago. The documents also show that over 50 administration officials, White House officials, and 12 agencies were involved in the censorship effort, regularly pressuring Facebook, Twitter, and Google to take action. This is why after my first page on Instagram, organically, never paid to have nothing, organically reached over 500,000 followers. When they took that page down, I came up with a second page that reached over 100,000 in a very short time. They took that down. Third page, that reached over 100,000 in a short time. They took that down. Fourth page, that only got to like 39,000. They found me real quick. I'm talking about they found me in like 4 days. I shot to over 30,000 in 3 days. They took that down real quick. Fifth page, that got up to roughly, I believe, 79,000. Shut that down. Sixth page, that got to over 80,000. Took that down. Seventh page, which was intellectual extremist. If y'all remember that page got over 50,000. They took that down. That was my last one. Now I'm on my 8th Instagram page. Some of y'all like, why are you still going to Instagram? I'm also on Melanated People's app. Boom. I also have a website, RizzAislam.com. Boom. I have a news website that is releasing soon as well. Boom. Stop it. My people are there, so therefore I want to make sure I have a presence there so that I can get my people out of it if I need to, and if not, at least inform them of what's happening. Don't be simple-minded. I'm on page 8. And on this page, I am at 38.4 thousand on page number 8. And I just got this page established in July of this year, toward the end of July, August, September. So I only had this page for maybe 2 months. So almost 9 weeks, I think, roughly a little over 2 months. I'm on page number 8 now. They have been targeting, spotting, waiting to see every time a page came up. This is what they said. Specifically, they said, the documents also show that over 50 administration officials from the White House and 12 agencies, including the FDA, the CDC, the U.S. Treasury Department, the United States Census Bureau, the Department of Homeland Security, were all a part of this. The FBI, we're all a part of this. But to get your brother off and 11 other people to make sure we do not get back on these platforms. My new Instagram is Rizza Islam IX. I'll type that in here. Make sure you go and follow it now if you don't know. If you haven't followed it yet, Rizza Islam IX. Make sure you follow that ASAP. Rizza Islam IX. Okay? Make sure you follow that. There's a new Instagram. So they were waiting every time to see. Okay? Let us continue. For those of you who are reading along with me, let me know, are you reading with me right now? Let me know if you're reading with me. The link to the article that I'm reading is right up here in the chat. Astonished. This is Robert Kennedy Jr. speaking now. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., chairman of Children's Health Defense and another person included in the Disinformation Dozen, said the documents surprised him. Thank you for reading along. Quote, I'm astonished that any elected Democrat would be so estranged from our nation's history and values as to consider it acceptable for a president to pressure publishers to censor his critics, end quote. Kennedy told the Epic News, quote, it's shocking that a U.S. president would involve the FBI and Homeland Security in efforts to squash or quash dissent. Has no one in the White House read Thomas Paine or Orwell or Huxley or Heinlein or Arthur Koestler or Hannah Arendt or Solzhenitsyn, these German names? What do they think the lessons were that we were supposed to have learned from Watergate, from McCarthyism, from Vietnam, he added, quote, the framers, meaning the framers of the Constitution, placed the right of free expression in the First Amendment, precisely to guarantee Americans our sacred right to criticize our government. The First Amendment is not there to safeguard popular speech or government-approved speech. Okay? The framers specifically wanted to protect speech that the government finds inconvenient or even detestable. And they include no pandemic exception in the Constitution. It's a good use of wit there, sir. End quote. Now, let me say this real quick. Let me say this real quick. Anyone, I'm going to say this for the Black community in particular. For white folks, I'm not necessarily concerned. For the Black people who are making fun, who were slandering your brother, those of you who are making it seem as though Rizza Islam is crazy, those of you who were talking about me behind closed doors, those of you who were talking about me from your platforms that you refuse to invite me on, but you invite my name on, those of you who talked so much and you didn't know a damn thing that you were talking about, those of you who talk but who have never been involved in fighting legislation to protect the rights of men, women, and children, those of you who talk but have never been to parent meetings and conferences in any of your cities or counties, should I say, I'm pretty sure the vast majority of those of you, to fight for children who are on the autism spectrum or anywhere on the spectrum at all, who have been injured by these shots, those of you who have never sat with scientists, real ones who were not sponsored by pharmaceutical companies, those of you who ran your mouth and who were paid because of the money set aside by the White House to pay TikTokers, those on Instagram and Facebook, to say that they took the shot, and if they didn't take it, they would get paid to tell people to trust the science or to promote taking the jab, even if they didn't. Some of you were offered money to lie and say you took it, even if you didn't. Now the truth is coming out that what it has done is it has harmed millions of people, and that what they said it was supposed to prevent is what it perpetuated and what it even mutated and evolved. You in the Black journalistic arena, those from the Black platforms, you're going to have to take responsibility at this point. Don't run from having your brother on. That's something I will tell you. Don't run from having your brother on. Specifically, I'm saying in the Black community, because here's the crazy part. These white platforms bring me on. They would love to have me on. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. These white folks want to have me on. Okay, that's fine. Again, the truth needs to be heard regardless, but I'm not interested more in being on white platforms or being in front of white audiences more than I'm interested in being in front of my own people. Do not take any more money from these pharmaceutical companies to push these lies that are now being exposed by this government. They have admitted it. It is coming out. I'm telling you now, give the money back if you can. In the contracts early. I'm saying this to all of you who are watching who know, and all of you who will watch in the future who know. You know what I'm talking about. Because what you don't want to be a part of is the blood that's on your hands because of what you promoted from this enemy. That's my point. Because an apology ain't going to be enough. You don't work with the families who have been damaged by it. You don't work with the parents. You don't work with the children. You don't get calls from people asking about how to detox. You don't get calls from parents trying to figure out how they can get exemption forms. People trying to keep their jobs. You don't get those calls. You spread nonsense and then it trickles down to the bottom, and that's where we at. That's where we are. So I pray this has been a lesson for some of you who listened to the nonsense, who you listen to professional liars, the same government. And some of you Negroes even tried to believe the lies so much to where you was attacking people trying to give you the truth. So when I do come onto your platform, out of love, I'm going to correct you. I'm going to. I have to, because you don't realize what damage you caused. So I'm not, this ain't no preaching. This is real. Now that I'm back on YouTube, for how long, I don't know. Frankly, I don't care. Y'all don't deal with the people who are at the effect of what it is that you've pushed. That's my point. And the crazy thing is, lawsuits are popping up. That NCVIA 1986, that's not going to protect these pharmaceutical companies for long. The PrEP Act is not protecting them for long. Now you have pharmaceutical companies coming at each other. It's all coming out. Listen to what I'm saying to you. It's coming out. So at this point, I think you might want to get out here and apologize, because all the scientists, including some of the scientists that I work with, who used to work under the Biden administration, scientists from HHS who I work with, cellular molecular biologists, epidemiologists, pathologists, immunologists that I work with, it's over. I'm telling you now. So if I were you, I'd come out and apologize, because they're admitting they paid so much money. They, meaning the White House, the over 50 administration officials and the over 12 agencies, spent so much money just to make sure that Rizza Islam and the other 11 on the disinformation dozen would not get reach on these platforms. They made sure our names were flagged heavily. They made sure that people who posted pictures with us would get targeted heavily. I'm telling you the calls I've gotten from different artists and celebrities when they try to post something and they would get a call. This is a real thing. But now the truth is out. That's the beauty of it. So get ready to apologize, every single one of y'all. And then I would say, honestly, get ready to make up for what you have potentially been a part of. Please. Because with over 40 million people being unemployed in 2021, and you telling me it's because the government cares about the health of the people and they just wanted the people to be healthy, now they're admitting that what they were telling you to take doesn't work, and that none of what they were promoting works, and that what they told you to put in your body is now causing your body more damage. Information I can't even put on YouTube because they still have these automatic algorithmic protocols put in that if you say anything about the real data, it's going to take down your page, take down your channel. When it's over, they've exposed it. They've already started to admit it. It's over. Over 158 studies proving that natural immunity is stronger than STAB-induced immunity. I don't even know why we need a study to prove what God has already proven. The only reason why me and you still exist on the planet Earth up to this very moment is not because of a shot. That's never been the truth, ever. 10th grade biology will tell you what natural immunity does. And these don't do that. God is superior. Whether if you believe in God, it, him, her, they, whatever you want to call the supreme being, this is something that no man has been able to duplicate yet. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. And they lied, and they were paying the different news outlets to push bogus science. Y'all need to understand how serious this is. So I'm going to go ahead and end this thing. It's my first time being on live in a long time, on YouTube, especially. Do me a favor, family, if you don't mind. Please share this, send this video to those who you feel need to hear it, to have a decent perspective, I would say, when it comes to the Aries sphere circumstance, to the Tiffany Haddish circumstance, which I don't want that to be a true thing. I'm just going to wait for the facts to come out, because so far I haven't seen any facts proving that they are guilty of doing what they're accused of. Like, no. I've seen a skit that was a PSA, a public service announcement, promoting that we need to watch who we put our children around, which is what it said at the end. Watch who you leave around your children or your kids is what it said. I saw that. It did hit that on the head. It wasn't funny, but it was real. And it was like, okay, wait a minute. And they may have gone too far in that skit because it wasn't funny at all. So if they're guilty, they should suffer the consequences. If they're innocent, people should apologize, because this The effort was too strong. The media frenzy was too quick. It was too strong. Sorry, but as one who has been targeted by this government and has been put all over the media, smeared, attacked all over the media, blackballed, not been able to go to places and speak in certain places, and people pushing away from me because they're like, bro, I'm sorry. You're an anti this. You speak against this, blah, blah, blah. All of it being a lie. I know what it feels like. That's all I'm saying. So if a person is guilty, suffer the consequences. But if they're not, then everyone who talks should apologize. But wait until it comes out and stop going at people without having the actual facts. Because that really, it's not only pitiful, it's distasteful, it's immature. It shows the mark of immaturity of people. It shows how low our intelligence is. And it shows how easy we get manipulated just by a damn title on a video. Ooh, Aries Spears this. I don't like him. I believe it. See, wait a minute. Hold on. Ooh, Tiffany Haddish. I don't like her. See? Ooh, no, wait. I've met them both. Doesn't mean I know them. Doesn't mean I know them like that. But I do know energy. And I don't believe that they're guilty of that. I don't believe it. However, again, if they are, hey, you got to suffer the consequences. But I'd rather wait for the facts to come out. So timing was very suspect on that one. Timing was definitely suspect on that one. And I know what a media blitz hit piece looks like because I'm the victim of one. I'm the victim of a couple of them. I know what it looks like when a sponsored hit piece to make you look like something you are not has been strategically orchestrated, written, calculated with more than one group to go towards attacking you and your image to make you look like something you're not. And only people who are not that intelligent fall for that. Your brain is very small if you fall for that type of stuff. Those of us who use this, we see right through it, and it's like, we see what's going on. Those who know Brother Rizza Islam knows, been in the community since I was 11 years old. So it's kind of like, you can say what you want, but those who know. And by the way, the next video that I'm going to do, I'm going to mention the news site. And I'm very thankful to this news site. I'm not even going to say the name yet, but man, I'm so thankful for them. They are putting up all of the work that I've been doing in the community for years before social media. Stuff I've been doing in the pictures, the videos, the awards, the recognition from government officials. Interesting. Same government that attacks me now was awarding me yesterday. Oh, I can't wait to show y'all these things. It's hilarious. I'm like, wait a minute. Y'all just, that's one of them up there. That's from the mayor and city council of Compton. That's one. That was from 2010. I think Instagram was founded in 2010. But that's from the work that I was doing for years. And the mayor and city council recognized me for the work that I was doing for years in the community. And that's when I told the mayor, at that time, it was Mayor Eric J. Paradin. I'll never forget it. I shook the mayor's hand and told him straight to his face that I was going to be the mayor of Compton one day, right there in the chambers, in the city hall. And he looked at the city council and he just said, did y'all hear what he just said? And they said, oh, yeah, him. Yeah, we know him. Oh, yeah. They said, that's why we gave him the award. Yeah, we gave him the award because of the brother. He out here. Yes. I was like, don't worry about it, brother. Not right now, but I'm going to be the mayor of Compton one day. Your position. So anyway, pray all of you have a great night. Please show people respect, show people love, be intelligent, think at least 5 times before you speak. And I would say think at least 5 times before you make an accusation about anything. Please, yes, the like button, this thumbs up thing that you see here, press that if you don't mind. Please send this video to a number of people. Let them know where Brother Rizza Islam's YouTube is for now. I don't know how long it's going to be up. I pray it stays up. If it doesn't, that's fine too. Text my text number. Text Rizza to 310-634-0799. to be in my personal text group. Somebody said, text the Cash App. Y'all gonna make me start talking about my brother. I'm not gonna do it right now. One day I'll put the Cash App up, but it's not, honestly, it ain't about money. Sincerely. It's sincerely. All right. Thank you. I appreciate it. I know I can. It's my platform. I get it. But right now, I really wanted to get on here just to get this information out so that we can get our minds right, please, and to understand what sacrifice really means, because it's a lot. Believe it or not. When they take down a platform that reaches 15 to 18 million people a week, that affects your money heavily. If you're using your platform to promote your products and the different things you're doing in the community, and they know how to come at revolutionaries. They attack our money, same way we need to come at them, attack their money, but also by separating from their system and building our own. So I'm just letting you know, that's what they did. And yes, it devastated me financially, but that's not what I'm up here for right now. Okay, just want to clarify that. So one day I'll let you know the Cash App, but right now I'm not interested. Y'all go ahead, just send this video, please. Let people know about the platform, where we are. I appreciate you. Somebody said, where can you get the book? I will let you know that RizzaIslam.com. Please make sure you subscribe to RizzaIslam.com. Subscribe to RizzaIslam.com. I will be writing another book very soon. Doing a lot of work right now. I will be writing another book very soon. Text Rizza to 310-634-0790. That is my text number if you would like to book me for a speaking engagement, whether if it is a Zoom interview, an in-person and studio interview, a event in person, keynote address, speaking at schools. I love that more. Juvenile halls, detention centers, prisons. That's where the real work is, in the hood, in the community. I would prefer that. RizzaIslam.com. Please send an email, or to RizzaIslam.com and click book Rizza. Please send that. My team will respond ASAP. I appreciate y'all. May Allah bless each and every one of you. Have a good night. I know it's late. Peace, peace, peace. Assalamu alaikum.